finished the very first live craft with Sara, and oh my word, it was off the chart incredible. We had hundreds of people from all over the world crafting along live with us with their little kids, people who'd never done anything like this before and had an absolute blast. Have a little look at what we got up to. Here, they're sticky, which is going to allow them to stick to a block, but then also they will clean off. So if you just want to do a little bit, so for example, you want to just do a maybe you want to wipe them with a baby wipe afterwards, or go through it with some, you know, we've got the, what am I thinking, like a wipe. Stick them on the washing up bowl, basically. So, right, so we're going to take the stamp. These are rocker blocks, guys, right? So you've all been sent a set of 4 rocker blocks, those of you that have got the kit. These are something that my dad invented. So my dad's an engineer, and if you look, can you see the surface of this block? It's curved. Now, when I was taught to stamp, I was always taught you never ever rock your stamp. And my dad said, well, why would you not rock a stamp? Because if you rock it, then you will get perfect transfer of ink. So, but the trick is not to keep rocking, you just need to rock once. So we engineered these with a slight rock on them. We're the only people in the world who do anything like this, because we hold the world, well, not a worldwide patent, but all across the UK and Europe and America, we have the patent on this product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, you take your stamp. Now, can you see I've taken the largest ones? You've got 4 sizes in the packet, right? And I'm going to have a good look at you. Those of you who've got your rocker blocks, I can see some of you looking down. If you've got your blocks, give us a wave with your blocks. But can you see in the middle of the block, there's like a, thanks Alison, I can see that there. So can you see we've got like a little mark in the middle? You're going to line up that thinking right into the centre of the stamp. So we want that right in the middle, okay? Now, in your pack, guys, I sent you some just plain white cardstock that you might want to practice with, or if you just have some copier paper, you could just practice with copier paper at home. But this is the technique that we're going to do for stamping, okay? We're going to bring in one of our quick drying pads, and some of you have got the blue, some of you have got the lilac, some of you might have loads of other different colours at home. And watch what we're going to do, okay? We're going to take the ink to the stamp. So what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to do this and ink up the stamp, okay? We're going to leave our stamp like this. We're going to take the ink pad, and then you're going to press the ink into the stamp like this here. Now, it doesn't matter if you get ink on the block, doesn't matter if you get ink in the background of the stamp. The only place we need to be really careful not to get ink is on these 2 little rails at the side. So maybe if you're not sure, just give them a rub with your fingers to make sure you haven't got ink on them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if the camera can come in really close so that I can show you this from the side. Because what we're going to do is we're going to rest on the heel of the edge here. So we're resting on the edge like this, okay? And we're basically going to rock, oh, here we go. Now Tori's in live. We're going to rest on the heel, and we're going to rock from heel to toe once and then lift up. And can you see, you will get that absolutely perfect transfer of ink. So I'll do it again for you, okay? We're going to take ink to the stamp again, so plenty of ink like this, right? Lots of light tapping. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure we've got none on the sides. We're going to start on the edge. So we're resting on the edge here. I'm going to come back out. Tori's going to get a lovely close-in shot for us, guys. Resting on the edge, and we're going to rock from heel to toe. Now, it doesn't need a lot of pressure. I'm kind of over-egging the pudding for you so that you can see it. But look how absolutely perfect each one of those are stamped. I mean, perfect. Now, couple of tips and tricks, what you don't want to do, right? What I don't want to see is I don't want to see loads of inking, and I don't want to see people going rock, 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 right? Thinking, oh, it's Sara's rocker blocks. Actually, mine turned out all right there. I was trying to do a bad job of it, but you get the idea, Matt. We don't want to be going rock, rock, right? What you also don't want to do is ink up and miss a bit of your stamp and stamp it and then think, oh no, I've missed a little bit. I'm going to ink that up and I'm going to try and line that up, and because look, it's never ever going to go right, right? So please always practice somewhere else. Practice on another piece of paper so that you can then get it perfect when you come to stamp on your real project, okay? So we've done the thinking. Let's take the thinking off here. And I've done that with the coloured ink. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the of you. We're going to put the of you in the middle as well. And we're going to overstamp of you over top of the thinking. So for that one, I want you to use your black ink pad. Now, I've given you all one colour and a black ink pad. The black ink pad is actually a completely different type of ink to the coloured one. And it's the ink pad I've chosen, again, if you're complete beginners, for you to get a great result. So what I'm going to do is I'll just do it over my practice ones that haven't gone too well. All I'm doing is I'm looking straight through the middle, and we're going to go and stamp it through the middle. Can you see there? Now, that's where I had some ink on the sides. That was my practice one. I'm comfortable that my practice went well, so I'm going to bring my real one in now. And I've got two nice real ones. So just lots of little light tapping. I'm loving watching you guys have a go here. They keep flicking me through everybody's different projects, and I'm seeing everyone having a go. Like I said, if you want to do it live, brilliant. If you don't and you just want to watch, you are more than welcome to watch and come back. Beth's having a go. Victoria's having a go. Brilliant. Oh, loving seeing this, guys. So let's have a look. Can you see I've got black on the sides of mine here? So I'm just going to give it a little rub off with my fingers. Make sure we don't get ink where we don't want ink. Yep. And then once I'm ready, I'm just going to line up in the middle here. I'm not pressing down, I'm lining it up in the middle, and then I'm going to the top. I'll let you guys watch me from the close-up here. I can see where we're through. You'll see I'm just resting on the heel of that one there. Once I'm resting on the heel, I'm just going from heel to toe, and we get the of you perfectly stamped in the middle. Right? So you go through, do yourself a couple. I'm going to do my last one up, and then I've done all of them. And we've basically, what I like to do is get all of my stamping done, and we can do plenty of stamping, and then we can come back and do the card making afterwards. Don't worry if it doesn't go right first time. For a lot of you, this will be the first time you've ever done any stamping. Just give yourself a little bit of a break. Just remember, today's all about learning the technique. You can come back and perfect it in time. You've got this recording to come back and watch at any point, okay? Right, so there is my, let's be really good and look after our stamps. So we can pop the of you back on here. I'll pop my thinking back here. I'll put the back onto the back of the stamp. So we've got the stamps to one side. Now we're ready to make this up into a card. And I've gone with really easy card making, guys, so you can just do this nice and quickly, okay? So in your kit, for those of you that sent for the kit, I've sent you some ready-made cards and envelopes so that basically your first 10 cards can be quick and easy like this. Now, if I just tell you, so these cards are 4 by 6, right? 4 by 6 inches. I'm just using the glass mat to measure mine down. So if they're 4 by 6 inches, I want a little matten layer and then a little mat on top of that. And because we've got the lovely purple, I'm going to go through some of that lovely cardstock that we had, and I'm just going to say, right, let's pick out the purple to go with it, and let's do a nice matten layer. Now, if this first one is 4 by 6, this needs to be a tiny little bit smaller than 4 by 6. So you've all got your ruler and your pencil, hopefully. That's the one thing I said to everybody you needed to bring. Oh, look at that. My ruler is in centimetres, so I'm just going to quickly switch to centimetres. So 6 inches is 15 centimetres, so I'm going to cut it to 14 centimetres. So all I'm doing is marking my little 14 here, marking the little 14 here as well, and then we'll draw that down there so that I can trim that. And then if we're going 4 inches by 6 inches, the other side, 4 inches 10, I'm going to go 9. All right, so if we go to 9 and here. So all I'm doing, guys, is basically measuring off a nice matten layer here so that I've got that matten layer absolutely perfect. So that'll just be the nice perfect size to go on the front of my card. So just trim that with your scissors. Those of you that have a guillotine to hand, brilliant. Your guillotine will make this sort of thing loads easier. So there's our little matten layer to go on the front. Might need a slightly larger one. And then if I just, is this going to fit on? Yes, I think it will. So can you see if I just trim this around here, all I'm doing is making this a tiny little bit smaller. So can you see there? I'm just going to cut slightly inside of my pencil mark so that we get an ever so slight matting layer. Now, just to let you know, as soon as I finish this demonstration, we are going to be going over, having a check of how everyone's got on. So if you've been doing your crafting and you want to show us how you're getting on, please do. And I believe we might have had someone who does want to come through and chat with me live. So we'll be doing a little bit of live chatting, okay? So, you see I've got our matting layer there. For those of you who've never ever used one of our tape pens before, you've got one of these in your kit as well. Watch what we're going to do, okay? We're going to go onto the back of our first piece now and just go all the way around the outside. This is basically double-sided tape, all right? Now, Lorraine's asking, can I just give you those measurements again? Lorraine, my card was 4 by 6 inches. So all I did was I trimmed the next little mat a tiny bit smaller. So instead of 4 by 6, I would probably go 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Yep. And then the next one, I would trim another 1/4 of an inch off again. I had to do mine in centimetres because I realised I only had a centimetre ruler after I was quoting you guys inches. And then also I did my second layer by just drawing around the first one and trimming it a little bit smaller. So there we go. And that just shows you can see there is our first card. Brilliant. And it might not be perfect, but you know what? If you've all had a go, hold your cards up so that I can see how everyone's doing and how everyone's getting on. I'll see if we can get you all up on the screen, and then we can see you how you're all going on. Oh, we're getting a few cards waved at us. Yes, fantastic. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to get you up on the big screen now. I'm going to come and have a little look. See if we can put you on the screen for everyone to see. There you are. Brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Amanda, I'm loving that there. Rachel's got hers done perfect. Oh, Sandy, I like yours with that. Carol's finished hers. Wonderful. Let's have a little look at some of the bit. Oh, Joyce, we've got Joyce in there a little bit now. Give me a wave, everyone, as well, so I know you're still with us and still watching live. Hey! Oh, look, we're creating a breakout room. We're creating a breakout room. We're creating a breakout room because we're going to go live. We're going to bring somebody up live any second now. So, who am I chatting to in our breakout room, guys? I'm going to be talking to Amanda in just a few seconds. While we get Amanda up, let's have a little look. Mary says, don't be nervous, Sarah, it'll be a fab hour. I'm feeling a little bit less nervous now, Mary, I can tell you. And she says, great idea on the replay link. It's going to give us a chance to recap on things that we're not sure about. Vicky's apologising now in case the cat makes an appearance. Right, so have we got... Brilliant, we've got Amanda ready. Oh, here she is. Hey, Amanda. Oh, Amanda, how's the stamping going?
I'm struggling.
You're struggling? How's it been? Show us how you've been getting on.
Not great. I'm struggling with stamping it out.
Amanda, I can give you some fantastic tips for that, right? So, do you think I can cut back over to my... Brilliant, right, I'm going to come over here. So you stay there, Amanda, and we'll do it together. If anybody's having the same issue with Amanda, we can do all of this together, right? So, what I want you to do, Amanda, let's get that thinking, and let's pop that back in the middle here, right? There we go. And we'll get our ink. Are you ready? She's ready. We're doing it. Take your ink to the stamp. Lots of inking up, right? Oh, we're on together. You're live, Amanda. So, Amanda, you've now been promoted to a live studio demonstrator. I'm not sure how you feel about that. I'm kind of hoping it's all right because we've already done it. Brilliant, right. So what I want you to do now, Amanda, right? When you turn it over, pop your fingers in this middle bit here, right? So if you pop your fingers in the middle, and then what we're going to do, I don't know if you like to start on the heel and rock forward or start on the toe and rock backwards, but if you choose one, I might start on my top and rock this way, right? And I want you to pop your fingers inside the middle there so that as we press down, just take your time. Some people sometimes think they have to rush, so you can go down and then press your fingers in the middle before you lift back up at the other end. Has that come out? Little bit better. Come on, we'll do another one together. We'll do another one together. I'll have you perfect by the time you're finished, Amanda. The trick with all of this is practice, right? So the more times you do it, the better you'll get at it. I mean, to be honest, this one I've just done is better than the first one that I did, and I've been doing this for 16 years, Amanda, so I wouldn't worry. Right, fingers in the middle. Right, so the fingers in the middle just give you that extra little bit of pressure. So can you see I'm holding mine at the top and bottom like this, right? And then popping my fingers in the middle so that you've still, that's it. So we're going to rest on the top and we're going to go from heel, rock it while you're in the middle, just give it a bit of a press down and then lift it up at the ends. And do you know what else might help? I've just noticed the difference between my setup and your setup. I'm standing up and you're sitting down. A lot of people, I know you'll have to do it when the camera comes off you because otherwise we'll not see your head anymore. But if you stand up, nearly got ink on my dress. If you stand up and do it from standing up, you've got that little bit more pressure when you stand over. So, fantastic. Oh, but it shows how your new thinking's looking though, Amanda. I'm desperate to see how you've got on there. Brilliant. I reckon the next project we come round to, I want to see you. We'll stamp the other one, we'll do the happy birthday, and I want to see, I'm sure you'll have them perfect by then. Absolutely brilliant. Do you know how fantastic? Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you. And how wonderful is it to be able to get people live in the studio like this and to be able to do this live. If you want to come and chat with me live, maybe you've got a crafting question, maybe you're struggling with one of the techniques that we're doing and you want to try again, you want to chat to me, anything like that, just let us know. So if you chat along in the chat function, and if there's a great question that you have or something like that, my team will take you into the breakout room and have a chat with you in the breakout room. And then from the breakout room, we can put you onto the big screen here in the studio. So if you want to come and chat with us in the breakout room, just let the team know. Right, let's have a look what everyone's saying. Tricia said, never used these before. Really interesting, as I've been using a stamping platform. I struggle as I have RA, so interested to see how you use these. Hopefully that's helped. Aisha D says, picking up some more quick drying pads yesterday during the 3 for 2 sale, getting close to completing that collection. Yeah, we do 36 colours of these ink pads, guys, by the way, if you're loving doing this. Sue Maguire says, having problems with getting my mat and layering straight, any advice? The next mat and layer I'll do it with a guillotine and show you the difference, and hopefully that'll help. Right, should we start on another project? Should we start on the next one? Right, here we go, guys. Let's get all these out the way. So, should we do this one next? It's a little bit different, right? I'm going to move my rocker blocks out the way here. Now, if you're like me and you've got ink all over your stamps and you want to give them a clean down, you've probably got a load of antibacterial wipes like this lying about now. Anything like that will be perfect. So I just like to get a little wipe, give your blocks a clean like this, right? And give your stamps a little bit of a clean. And then those stamps will just peel off, and always put them back on your mat like this. So I can pop that straight back on there and then pop the top back over. Now, can you see that stamp that we've been stamping with doesn't look as clear now as what it did at the beginning? It's got like a bit of a pink tinge to it. Don't worry, that's right. Don't worry about trying to clean that off. It won't come off, guys. That's like the ink is stained into the stamp, but it won't transfer onto your other projects. So definitely don't worry. That is completely normal behaviour for these stamps, okay? Right, so we're going to go with happy birthday this time. So I want you to get your happy birthday out. And the reason we're doing this project second is I absolutely wanted you to kind of have your stamping perfected a little bit before we got to that stage. Now, notice the happy's a little bit smaller. I think that might fit onto one of our smaller rocker blocks, okay? So in your pack, you see, you've got, is it going to fit onto the slightly smaller one? Oh, a little bit tight. We'll stick with the next size. We'll stick with the size one that we've been working to. What you'll find, folks, is that you probably will use this size one the most often, but always put your stamp in the middle, right? So don't be putting it up, just because it's on a jaunty angle on the project, don't put it on a jaunty angle on here. I want you to lie that up right in the middle, all aligned perfectly, right? Now, get your scrap piece of paper, get your new ink pad, if you're doing a different colour or if you've got your same colour, but you want the coloured ink pad. And I want you to have a practice inking up and then just doing a few stamp bits. So I want you to practice and see how happy, no pun intended here, how happy you are with all of the kind of stamping and how clear your images are coming out. So I'm really happy there that all of these are stamping comfortably. So now I've done a few practices, that's working brilliantly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in another one of my cards and we're going to stamp the background. Now, just need to let everybody know, while I'm working, we're having a few tech issues at the moment. We might have lost the sound. If so, we might just go to a quick pause while we sort it out. Have you got me back? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear all right, guys. Let's get you up on the screen and I'll see if we've got a lot of We've got a lot of thumbs up. Thank goodness. Thank goodness, as if it wasn't stressful enough having to chat live to all of you guys whilst crafting, then we've got all this new tech to contend with. This is our very, very first one of these. So I kind of hope you don't mind that we're kind of learning as we go along. Trust me, by the time we get into 2 or 3 of these, hopefully we'll be like a well-oiled machine. But I think it's wonderful. Thank you so much for all helping with us, right? So, right, if we go and pick back up where we left off, right? So I'm back over here. So, has everyone been practicing their stamping? I haven't done anything while we lost you there briefly. All we were up to was we've got happy in the middle and we're just inking up and doing a couple of little stamps to make sure that it's nice and clear and crisp, right? So, if we're all happy, the pun is killing me here. We're all happy with the happy stamp. If you are, bring in your card, right? So, we're going to bring in our card. And I want you to do a little bit of random stamping. Now, I don't know about you, but random stamping always stresses me out. I'm all right with everything in nice straight lines, but not when we have to go a bit higgledy-piggledy, right? So, here's my card. I'm going to go off the corner a little bit. So, we've got happy across the corner. And then, let's have a little look. I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to bring it this way. So, I'm just going to bring this on another little bit here. And we're going to stamp happy coming down this way, yep, and then going up this edge here, I'm going to want one into the little corner. So because we're only going to get the edge of the stamp on, what I'm doing here, can we see, I'm just going to come and bring this in here, and then maybe put a tiny little bit down the edge here as well, and I'm going to do exactly the same, just all the way over there. Right, so I'm comfortable that we've got our all over background, and we're looking really pleased with that. Yep. So then what I'm going to do is just get another piece of cardstock and we're going to stamp the happy and the birthday. So happy here comes right across the middle. And again, you can always do a couple of these. What I love about these cards, guys, is you can do a couple of stamps so that we can be getting them ready. And then you can be making quite a few cards all in one go. I know I'm going fast here. I'm only going fast because I'm trying to do 3, you only need to do 1, right? So, a couple of happies in there. Let's take our happy off and then also cut to the birthday. Now, remember this from the first card that we did. For the other birthday, we're going to use the black ink, which is a different type of ink altogether. And not wanting to spoil the surprise, but I've just been told that my next guest is wanting to ask me all about the different types of inks. So I will not cut too soon to it, but we're going to be talking about the different types of ink in just a few minutes, okay? So just needless to say, I've inked the birthday up. Remember, you're going to take off that ink down the side, so we haven't got any ink there. And then we're just going right through the middle. So I can see where that birthday is, and I'm then just positioning at the top, stamping right through. So we've got that lovely birthday. So you can see happy in the background and birthday coming across the front, right? Now, I'm going to do that with a few of them. I'm keen to see how everyone's getting on. Give me a thumbs up if your stamping's coming out well and you're happy with how it's looking. Or if you're just crafting along live with it. If you're not crafting along live with us and you're just watching, give us a thumbs up if you're quite happy and you feel like you're enjoying it. Any thumbs? Oh, thank goodness. I was worried for a moment then. I was like, oh my word, I'm getting no thumbs up. Yes, we're getting plenty of thumbs up. Do you know, it's really nice because stamping's one of my favourite techniques. But for a lot of people, they've tried it once and not gotten a very good result. And as a result, they've completely given up. And then trying to get people to get back into it, they'll think, no, I've tried stamping, it didn't work. Louise is agreeing with me there. You know what I'm talking about, Louise, don't you? A lot of people have tried it, given it up after the first go. Trust me, I'm going to get you stamping by the end of this class, okay? So, here's my happy birthday. Who was asking, let me get that guillotine out. Who was asking about lovely mats and layers earlier? Because watch the difference this is going to make when we bring the guillotine in, okay? I'm going to trim this now. And all I'm going to do is trim this perfectly. Now, the beauty about using a guillotine is that you've basically got multiple points of rest. So that's resting up against the top, and then I'm cutting around there beautifully. So can you see it's cut that perfectly square? And do the same. Let me just show you again. So I know this is aligned against the top here. So again, when I come down there, and then I rest that one that we've cut at the top, that's going to cut perfectly. And then the same here. So all four sides. Have I cut that one straight? Yes. And then these are what we call a topper, right? So that is your topper ready to go on your card. Now, different people do this different ways. Let me show you the kind of Sara cheat way I like to do it, okay? If I bring in a little bit of that blue cardstock. So I've sent you all, those of you that are doing the kit, I've sent you a nice little selection of pastel colours because even if you just had one of the colours of ink pad, the pastel shades will all match in together. So you've all got a pastel ink pad and some pastel colours, okay? Now, watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take here and I'm going to do all of the sticking, so all around the four sides here, and I'm going to stick this, leave a little bit around the edge. Look at that there, right? But that's stuck perfectly. I'm going to do the same here, just go around all four sides, and then I'm going to bring this and I'm going to stick this one, leaving a little bit of a gap around those edges. And then when I come in with the guillotine, let's just trim that in half first, right? So now I'm just eyeballing, leaving the same sort of gap, and I'm looking, thinking it's not quite enough. I'll trim a tiny bit more. And the beauty of the guillotine is, look at that, fly's eyelash. You can cut a fly's eyelash off the side and know that it's still going to look great. There's my topper, ready to go, all right? Same here. I'm going to trim that down, trim this down. We've got a couple of little bits around the edge, all right? And then this is just going to go in the middle of our birthday card there. So we've got all the happies in the background, little birthday over the front. There's my happy birthday. So who said you couldn't make a lovely birthday card, lovely trendy little birthday card in just a couple of minutes? Oh my word, you're not going to guess what I've done, guys. I've made an Australian birthday card. Right. So who's watching from down under? Who's watching from down under? That card is just for you guys. And can I just say, it just proves that even the professionals don't get it right every time. Right, let's have a look at your card. Oh, love the card there, Sue. That looks amazing. I'm going to see if I can get you all up on my screen and we'll come over and have a little look. Right, if you've made, guys, where's my iPad? If you've made any cards, hold your cards, or even if you've done some stamping, show me the stamping that you've done as well. Oh, Katie, they're brilliant. Amanda, didn't I tell you, Amanda, that you would absolutely nail that? But yes, she's nodding along. Amanda, I told you would have it brilliant. Karen, that's fantastic. And this is just showing you, so Karen's using a different type of product, a different stamp set, but taking the same techniques and what we've learned there. Katie, I'm loving the finished card. Louise, that's brilliant. Oh, Liz, I thought there, when I saw the upside down happy, I thought you've done the same as me to make me feel a bit better. You haven't, have you not? You've got yours perfect. Thanks, Liz. Rachel's is, look, Rachel's put hers on a bit of a jaunty angle. I like that. Carol's is perfect. Jen has absolutely nailed that stamping there. Love that, Jen. Nona has done the Christmas one. Love the Christmas one. Oh, Victoria. Oh, Victoria, you've got a lovely looking craft room there. Love that. Do you know what I'm loving? I'm loving having a little nosy at everybody's craft rooms. That's been the best bit for me, having a little look and seeing where everybody's crafting along. Right, I believe we have somebody else live to come and chat with me in the studio. So while we're just getting them ready, let's have a little look what everybody else says. Aisha is asking, is it necessary to prime your stamps? Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, it's basically the first time you use them, do we have to get them ready? Now, if it's an acrylic stamp, yes, you do. These stamps are photopolymer, which look like acrylic in that they all look clear, but they're made out of a different type of material. Now, it's less required to prime your photopolymer, but if in doubt, tell you what I used to do. Just get a roll of sticky tape, and I just used to stick my sticky tape over the front, and then, so I used to stick it over and then pull it off. Stick it over and pull it off, and it just takes that first little bit of like residue off the top of the stamp, and that helps you prime your stamps to get a great kind of first result as well. Right, I believe we've got our next person ready to come and join us live. Who's going to be joining us? We've got Lynn. There she is. Hiya, Lynn. Lynn, you look almost as excited as I am to be chatting to you as you are to me. Have you enjoyed the class so far, Lynn?
Oh,
brilliant.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Now, Lynn, with an accent like that, come on, where are you dialing in from?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Oh, so what, Lynn, what time is it? Come and tell us, what time is it now?
5:45. That's why I'm in my pajamas still.
Lynn, we would never have known they were pajamas. I tell you what, if I looked that good at 5:45 in the morning, I would absolutely be on a live Zoom link chatting with hundreds of other people. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm from Pennsylvania. Right, Lynn, what is it you wanted to ask me about?
So how come you were using a quick dry and a waterproof?
Right, so you've got a quick dry. Everybody who's got the kit has got a quick dry and a finesse of some sort, right? So you've either got the quick dry waterproof or a quick dry alcohol proof, sorry, not a quick dry, a finesse waterproof or a finesse alcohol proof. Either way, these ones are finesse, these ones are quick dry, right? What you'll find is there's different ink pads for different reasons. When it comes to stamping and getting a nice crisp image, your quick dry inks are going to give you that nice crisp image with colour. So we do them quick dries in 36 different colours. They will give you a much crisper image than, for example, a water reactive. So I don't know if you've got any of our water reactives, Lynn, but if you were to stamp with like not on you, but if you ever stamped with one of the water reactives, Lynn, it'll come out really bobbly, right? That's because those type of ink pads are not made for stamping. And you know what? Before I started stamping in a great deal, I used to think that was a ridiculous thing to say, because I thought, well, if an ink pad's not made for stamping, what on earth is it made for? Surely all ink pads are for stamping, but actually no. Some ink pads are for like ink backgrounds and techniques. Your quick dry inks that I've sent you in your kit are brilliant for that lovely big background where you get a nice ink of colour. Now, the finesse ones, Lynn, the other side ones here, the finesse ones are brilliant because they are, the clues in the title, finesse. So they are the ones that are going to give you a really crisp image. Now, for the purposes of what we're doing today, I just wanted you to have a beautiful, crisp, stamped black image. So it really doesn't matter which finesse one that I send you. However, good thing to know about these, you have a finesse alcohol proof and a finesse waterproof. So in your case, Lynn, what you've got, the waterproof one means that if you ever want to do any watercolouring now, you can stamp and do your watercolouring and that won't move. If you were to do alcohol pen colouring, and one of our other classes is going to be about alcohol pen colouring as well, then if you stamped it with the waterproof, it would go all over when you put an alcohol pen all over it. You need the alcohol proof one. So finesse is for your detail, and your quick dry one's going to give you the lovely colour. Does that all make sense, Lynn?
Yes, thank you so much.
Do you know what, Lynn? I wish someone had told me all of that when I first started stamping, because I didn't understand about the different types of ink pads, and I'll be really honest, I felt really silly. And also because I started doing like TV work in craft very early on, I just thought everybody assumes I'm an expert, and I have no idea I'm not an expert in everything crafting. And I felt like I couldn't ask. There was nobody to ask. So hopefully there's never ever a silly question. Just remember that there's never ever a silly question. Now, I think we might have time to squeeze one last one in at the end, okay? So if you still want, we're going to have one last chance to talk to somebody just right at the end of the show. So if you still want to come and chat with us live in the show, keep your questions coming in. What I do want to say is remember the whole point of today was to have a little bit of time for you. Was to take a little bit of time out for yourself. Don't know about you, but I'm always on the go, mega busy, don't take time out for myself. And really, craft is just about mindfulness. So when it comes to mindfulness, it's about intention, attention, and also attitude, right? So let's just go through all of them. So if we talk about intention, right? When it comes to intention, just remember, it's not about having it perfect the first time. It's just about you set out today to learn to stamp. Whether it was the first time you'd given this a go, whether you tried it in the past, like our first caller that we had, tried it, wasn't getting great results. Did she give up? Absolutely not. We kept going. A second card there you saw it was perfect, right? So just remember, this is your time, and the whole point of today was to learn something new and to have a little bit of fun. So that was the first one, okay? Your second point, attention, right? We're here doing this. We are giving up an hour out of our day to all hang out, have a bit of chit chat. Don't forget about the fact that the washer went off 10 minutes ago and you really should have gone and changed it. Or the cat's meowing in the background because it wants feeding. You can wait another 10 minutes, right? It's an hour. We're going to give this all of our attention for the whole hour. And trust me, by the end of it, whatever it is you were worrying about before we went into this, you'll feel a ton calmer. I've done so much, especially during the pandemic and the lockdown, just taking that bit of time out for yourself. Doing a craft, but having the intention to just sit down and focus on the craft, not anything else, it's been incredible. And the third important thing, attitude. Just have a positive attitude. Doesn't matter if it went wrong. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present and giving it a go. My first stamps that I did just then weren't perfect. Don't be judgy about yourself. Just be curious. Why has that not worked? Like our first caller that we had, she didn't think, oh, it hasn't worked again. I'm throwing that out. She was like, why has that not worked? Do you know what? I'm going to ask Sara. She had a positive attitude of, I'm going to get better. I'm going to ask Sara. And now she's absolutely perfect at it. And that's my idea is, at the end of this, I want you to go away, having had a bit of time for yourself, having enjoyed it, and hopefully having learned a little bit. Do you know, if you haven't, doesn't matter. Maybe you haven't joined along with the craft and you've just wanted to watch and enjoy and have the chit chat. That's absolutely fine too. So we've got time for one last demo. I'm going to teach you how to do an easel card. So for some of you, this might be the first time you've done an easel card like this. But we're going to do, this is an easel card here, right? Where it stands up. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, she hasn't sent me an easel card. She hasn't sent me easel cards, she's just sent me regular cards. I'm going to show you how you turn your regular card into an easel card. Then we're going to do the stamping technique again, right? So, come on. Card 1, perfect. Card 2, upside down Australian card, almost perfect. Doesn't matter, not about getting them perfect. We've had fun and we're present in the moment, aren't we? Right? Card number 3, easel cards. Now for this one, I'm going to take my base card. And what we're going to do is you're going to take this front bit, right? You're going to fold this front bit in half like this, and then just take the side of your ruler and press the side of your ruler down like this, right? So that we've folded the first half in half, okay? Then get another one of the little cards that I've sent you, and I want you to cut that one right down the middle. So essentially, you're going to make 2 easel cards out of this one if you want, because you're going to have 2 half of a card. So we've got that half of a card ready, right? Then, do you know, my cutting's not very straight there. Just because I do it on the TV, guys, doesn't mean I'm a professional and I get all my cutting straight, although they do call me Sarah Scissorhands. Would you believe it, right? So here we go. We're going to take our tape pen and you're going to put tape all over this section here, right? Plenty of tape on there, and then I want you to line up these two pieces together, all right? So we're just lining up those two pieces of the card all over together, and then watch what happens. You see, that stands up. Can you see that from the side there? That essentially is going to stand up as your easel card. So we've got our easel card that's going to stand up, so it's going to go flat to go in the envelope, and it's going to stand up like this, right? Now we've created the base easel, we're going to do a little bit of matting and layering. So watch here, when it comes to your matting and layering, right? I'm going to measure this. I'm going to do mine with my guillotine because it'll be perfect then. So it's 5 3/4 by 4 exactly. And I think we'll use the lilac again with this one. So I'm going to go, so it was 5 3/4 by 4. So what I do with the next one is come into 1 less than 4, one little notch down here, and then 1 little notch less than the 5 3/4. And what that should give me is the perfect little mat and layer for the front, right? So let me just show you that again. So 1 little notch before the 4 and 1 little notch before the 5 3/4. And that gives me all of my mats and layers to go on there. And then I can actually use this piece here. So remember, this one was, well, it was supposed to be 5 1/2, and I've clearly cut that a bit short, by 3 3/4. So I'm just going to come a tiny little bit in from there, 3 1/2 there. Is that going to fit? So it's not about having the exact perfect size. Yes, it is. It's about just having it even all the way around. There we go. Quite happy with the mat and layer all the way around there. Look how much easier that guillotine made it. I tried with that ruler and pencil first time, and then look how much quicker and easier it was when we just cut to the guillotine. Now, should I do another birthday one with this one, seeing as we've got the birthday stamps out, right? Here we go. I'm going to take the happy. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the happy and go right in the middle, and the lilac ink pad. So inking, lots of little light tapping, just what we've all learned a few times over the background there. And I'm going to stamp that happy in the middle, right? And then I'm going to take, I've still got the birthday on here, and we're using the black ink pad, lots of little light tapping on the birthday. Now with this one, I really wanted you to just learn that technique of how to do the easel card. So you had a bit of a different type of card in your armoury. So don't worry if you've just got the card sorted and you haven't had a chance to do all of your stamping before we have to go to our next live question. All right, so birthday comes right there across the middle. So there's my happy birthday, and we're just going to layer all that up onto the front of that lovely easel card. So got last chance for a last couple of comments and a last tea caller. And what I will say is, this is just the first of our Craft with Sarah's. So I've got another one of these guys coming up. I think is it next weekend? Yes, it is. Next Sunday is the next one. So if you want to do another card making class with me on the 19th, next Sunday, please, what I'll do is I'll pop there you go, there's the details. Celebration card making we're going to be doing on the 19th. Now, I've tried it on a weekend for a change. Let me know if weekends are better for people than weekdays. And let me know, I've tried to go a little bit later in the afternoon so that those of you who are watching over in America, for example, don't have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning like we have done this time. So hopefully that'll be good for people, and you can join me for the celebration card making one as well. Right, there's our little easel card. Isn't that lovely? And you can see the one that I've done, the birthday one that I did in the yellow here, all I did, you always need with an easel card something for it to rest up against to hold it up at the bottom. So I just cut a few little bits to layer up there just to give me some way of standing it up at the bottom. But just for the, because I really want to have time to go to my my last caller as well. You can see there how you do the basic front of what we're doing. Oh, there we go. There's our lovely camera lady just getting in place, ready for our caller. Yes, I just wanted you to see the basic technique of how we do that. Right, I think that means, guys, that I can go over and get ready for our next live question. All right? So, yes, right, brilliant. Who have I got coming in live to chat with me now? Lynn, right, so we're going to have Lynn joining me live, but a couple of quick questions before I get to Lynn. Leslie's asking, can I use metallic ink pads for these? Leslie, any type of ink pad, brilliant. Right, Liz is saying, I'm still getting blotchy stamping and I've tried doing it standing up too. Can you help? Liz, do you know what I would say? You know, we talked about priming stamps earlier. Go and try and give them a prime. Go and try and give them a bit of a clean and see if that helps with it. Tricia says, I've really enjoyed this, even though I've been working. Absolutely going to go into my craft room this evening and watch all of this again. Thank you so much, Sarah and the team. Don't worry. We're going to send you all the links so that you can watch all of this back later and have a go. And then hopefully by the next one, you won't be as nervous. I won't be as nervous. We'll know what we're doing technically as well. And you can come along and do the next live one with us next weekend and do the celebration card making as well. So, right, brilliant. So we've got Susan, I do believe. Are you there? Yes, she is. Hey, Susan.
Morning, Sarah.
Oh, somebody else who sounds like they're coming in live from across the other side of the pond at a very early time of day, am I right?
It is very early. I'm still kind of in my pajamas with a sweater covering them.
Oh, you do right, Susan.
My question is, how do you keep your stamp pads juicy? Sometimes it seems mine get a little bit, not juicy. Yeah, they just get a little gritty. And I wonder, how do you keep them juicy? What's the best way to store them?
Brilliant. Right, let's have a little look. I'm going to get a couple of my ink pads. Right, so what I would say, Susan, is we all kind of feel like we want to store them like this. However, if you store them upside down, watch what all of the ink will come to the bottom of the ink pad as well. Now also, you know how in the last question, Susan, we were talking about the different types of inks? You'll notice not only is the ink different, but the delivery method of that ink onto your stamp is different. So for example, these quick drying pads have like a foamy surface, which stops them from getting gritty. And that is just going to give you like a different kind of type of experience when you're stamping. But in terms of inking, what I would say is keep them upside down. That will make all the difference, and also keep the lids on them as well. What you'll find is these ones here, our Spectrum Noir ones, you shouldn't have any issues with them like drying out or whatever. If it's coming to the end of its life, it's just ready to be replaced. Now, some different inks you can get, like where you add more ink onto it. Personally, I've never had much luck doing that, because when these are made, the ink is like soaked all the way through, the right amount into the right place on the ink pad. When I don't know about you, but when I've tried to refill them up, I get too much ink in some places, not enough in others. So what we've done with all of our ink pads and the ones that you've been sent, for those of you that have got the kit, we've just put you loads of ink in them so that they should last a little bit longer. Does that all make sense, my dear?
That totally makes sense. And I think I've been storing mine sideways.
Oh, yes, brilliant. Upside down, Susan, upside down will be brilliant. Oh, Susan, thank you so much for coming chatting live with me as well.
Yeah, this has been absolutely awesome. So welcome.
Do you know,
thank you.
It's been lovely to kind of go back to basics, hasn't it, as well?
Yes, it has.
Brilliant. Oh, thank you so much, Susan. Actually, thank you to everybody. Thank you to all of you who've commented along. It's been lovely having some live callers come in the studio from all over the world. Thank you so much to everyone who's been chatting away as well. We've had loads and loads of comments, and the team will be on there answering any technical questions you've had as well. Remember, this is just the first one in like a series of these that we're doing. So if you want to go and have a little look on the website, you can book in. We've got everything from other card making to macrame to some Christmas crafts in there as well. So I've got a little bit of all sorts planned for you over the next few weeks. And remember, because it's all designed for beginners, if you know somebody else who's just wanting to get into all of this, please tell them about these classes, because this would be a brilliant way to get somebody started. So hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to send you all the details through on an email now. Really hope to see you next Sunday on the next one, or on one of the ones coming up. So bye for now, and I'll see you soon.